All right. Reading time. Entering the post-knowledge work era. What happens when AI completely decodes and synthesizes reality? Like many of you, I have been exploring both the incredible potential and frightening peril of the rapidly advancing AI revolution. I think this technology is potentially as transformative as the internet itself, perhaps even more powerful in how it will reshape human society. I think clearly it's far more powerful. It is as big as the internet of a shift, but obviously each time we shift on a compounding interest of shifts, things get crazier. I believe we're at one of these final shifting points. This is the total decoding and synthesizing of reality, teaching intelligence to do all things that we humans do, so that we can all be prompt engineers of matter and material itself, with unlimited, basically, labor underneath all of us. It's like the managerial revolution of capitalism is going to allow every single person to become a manager and basically track forward on the thought to reality manifestation window. It used to take a really long time to think, hey, I want this, I want some steak. You know, you might not even live near where you can get a cow. We have just made it more convenient. Capitalism basically creates convenience. That is what the machine is slowly doing, is allowing people's wants and needs to become shorter. What we need to make sure is that we don't make everyone's wants all the way short, just their needs. And that's like the difference between an empowerment algorithm, which would focus on someone's needs, and then an engagement algorithm, which I believe is why these guys, Tristan Harris and Ozza Raskin, who run Institute for Humane Technology, who had made the documentary on the social dilemma, have probably gone down similar rabbit holes like myself, thinking about what algorithms are we working with our lives, and what are those implications as we go down this pathway of making it easier to access things, and these things which we can access stronger and stronger. So specifically for media, easier to access perfect dopamine-filling media that just draws our full attention in. And engagement algorithm then is a big peril. Every week we see new releases, new plugins that can change how we organize information, influence how we think, program, and create. As an antidote, I appreciate Margie Harrison's Futurism essay, I haven't read this, which dismisses ChatGPT as just an automated mansplaining machine, often wrong, yet always certain, and with a tendency to be condescending in the process. These rapid-fire innovations also may lead to an enormous loss of jobs around the world. According to a new Goldman Sachs report, LLMs could disrupt 300 million jobs over the next 10 years. Other estimates propose a higher number, up to 1 billion current jobs disappearing or degraded. I have not seen this one. I did see the Goldman Sachs report, so I also believe it's in the multi-billion number. Interestingly, the jobs, if you're on a 10-year time horizon, of course. Interestingly, the jobs threatened by AI are not those performed by manual or essential workers such as farmers, teamsters, or hospice workers. It will impact vast swaths of the knowledge economy, which I really think of just as the digital economy, anyone who's a remote worker. Lawyers, graphic artists, financial analysts, software engineers, technical writers, journalists, teachers, call center workers, and so on. I find it incredibly eerie, staggering to ask ChatGPT-4 a relatively obscure question to compare, for example, the concept of the imaginal versus the imagination, found in the works of the visionary philosopher Rudolf Steiner and the Sufi scholar Henry Corbin. Then watch it produce a relatively accomplished essay on the topic in a few seconds. It is difficult to fathom the impact this will have on humanity's cognitive capacities. It may make many people even more lazy and dependent on tech than they are now. On the other hand, this is an unbelievably powerful tool for purposeful creativity and research. In a recent video, circulating widely even though not yet released to the public, Tristan Harris and Ozza Raskin from the Institute of Humane Technology explain the many ways that the AI breakthrough threatens humanity's immediate future. They define it as the total decoding and synthesizing of reality. Following their warning, a long list of influencers signed a letter asking for a 6-month pause in the development of LLMs beyond GPT-4. That sounds like a pretty cool video. I have not seen that. Let's see if it is, this guy says widely circulated. But not yet publicized. It's widely circulated. Someone's got to have thrown it up. Six days ago, 2 posts on Twitter. We have a screenshot from their thing. March 9th. D.A.I. Oh, this is like the social dilemma, right? Okay, so this is quite recent. I'd like to watch the video. It looked like it was a Vimeo link specifically. Okay, cool. So yeah, it wasn't released. Okay, there it is, original video. It's amazing what you can do. Knowing how to Google is very, very important. It's like prompt engineering Google, I guess, for the modern way. You know, you can do quotes, right? To say force, this must be here in exact string. You know that you can do force on a string of text, right? With quotes. So like when you're Googling something, if you say, this has to be here in the order I want it in, you can put it in quotes. And then it does that. And so that allows you to, for this, I can take this line, and I can put it in quotes, and then I can actually find it. Otherwise, if I don't put it, it's going to bring me results based on a collection of these things. I put it in quotes, I say, don't search for your best relevant result. I say, search for only if this is on the internet in this exact fashion. Hour long, I guess we've got ourselves a movie to watch. At least everyone can now copy this link. I did the dirty work, and I've showed you how to do the dirty work if you ever want to find stuff online. It's one of the more important things. Critical thinking skills, boys and girls, and everything in between. All right. I don't like Elixir, so I'm just going to skip that part. Advanced superintelligent AI can apply biotech and robotics to build itself a fleet of superbodies. Udowski, however, turns out to be a bit of an odd character, a hyper-rationalist and transhumanist. Lex Friedman just conducted a long interview with him. Yeah, and this is why I don't like Eliezer. He's more sci-fi. Be willing to destroy a rogue data center by airstrike. It's just like there's much better ways to go about building a revolution towards bringing all of humanity together to unify around a necessary mission. Eliezer is a doomist, not an optimist towards solutions. What? Yes, he is fully black-pilled. And I think you can totally be worried about the future and think we are going to need to really take great action. But if that stems from a place of thinking it won't be possible to take this great action, you will come up with solutions which are just stupid, like bombing data centers. Right. Yeah, that too. You'll just complain. Say it's over. It's not over, boys and girls. We are in it to win it. Okay? The story's exactly how we would have wanted it to be. We have to put up a good fight, unify. If everything just became perfect, would that really be perfect for all of us? I think it's something to be grateful for that we have a chance to fight the holy war. Be willing to... Okay. Now is getting closer, and I think this is probably going to get into what I was touching on earlier. If we are indeed confronting an imminent threshold where tens or hundreds of millions of knowledge workers face imminent redundancy, this is both a scary prospect and a tremendous opportunity for humanity, collectively, to rapidly evolve. As those who follow my work will recall, I cannot see any way we rescue ourselves from ecological oblivion under the current capitalist system. Therefore, we need to supersede the system with something else. A sacred economy, a resource-based economy, a regenerative economy, a donut economy. We can call it many things. I call it enlightened capitalism or karmic capitalism. The basis of such an economy would be reciprocity, sharing of resources, the reduction or elimination of most non-essential consumption and production. And so all of this obviously just stems back into good, like farming good karma. It's an economy based on doing good for the world. That's what all these things can be categorized into, and I think that's why enlightened capitalism, which has a high status effect to it, which is really saying maximizing the amount of good karma you obtain, which would be this eternal currency of the fulfillment of yourself as one being, as a part of this bigger network, which is building towards a great future. And the same way a religion offers this like infinite reward if you do good by the hands of God. In this case, it's like a atheist-proof worshipping of God, which is really just a worshipping of the highest ideal that one could imagine, and that is then by turning oneself into an arbiter of light. Enlightened is then a good piece of that, and you're spreading the best self you can, helping other people become their best selves. This is a world I'd love to see. And I think with strong narratives, lots of people can get there. I actually think that's the number one reason why a lot of people get black-pilled is like they just aren't hanging out enough with good, engaging media of people working towards the white pill effect. And so, me personally, building a network state focused on doing that. If you're watching this, if you're interested in this stuff, and even if you're broke, I will pay for you to have a very nice room overlooking a very nice city view. Girlfriend not included, but you will have a maid and chef and all the other essentials. Community, pre-AGI monks, I'd like to say. Oh, wonderful lives. So, a transition from bullshit jobs to meaningful work that addresses the immediate requirements of the planetary ecology. Mother Earth is sick and tired of maintaining the clamorous, destructive human population. She is showing many signs that she is getting ready to shake all of us off her back. I do think there will be a resurgence of a lot of the people who were very religious, they're like the religion basis faltered. They've been so consumed by standard culture and society, watching sports and wasting time and buying bigger houses if they can, and then, just not doing enlightened capitalism, not really following the tenets of their major religion, where all of them are basically saying your life is meant to be a devotion to God, and you should become the strongest you can be in order to deliver all that strength. It's like clearly the modern idea of you should save your money and put it in a 401k and then like buy the nicest house that you could reasonably afford as like a real estate investment for the long term that you'd pass down to your kids is the current mental model of a majority of the upper middle class of the world. And so there's like stores and stores of wealth that I think will emerge back as we continue down this pathway of people realizing that now is close, there's new beginnings happening, that the only scarce resource is in fact good karma, or at least the only scarce resource that one should worry about accumulating. Mother Earth is sick and tired of maintaining the clamorous destruction. The reality that it is cognitive workers, the educated classes that face the imminent threat of job loss or job degradation could be great news if at least a subset of our intellectual elite realized the necessity of bringing out a deeper, systemic transformation of our social and economic infrastructure. In my book, How Soon Is Now, I tried to define from a systems design outlook, we should read that book probably, huh? What such a transformation would mean. I also have this guy's number. I am definitely going to text him. I mean, his thing about we should do a systemic transformation is literally on top of that, my guy. There is, of course, a technical basis to this, but there is also an emotional reality to it. To speak in sentimental terms, we will need universal love for our human family, universal empathy and compassion to motivate us as we re-envision our social relations as well as our species relationship to the web of life as a whole. In the question concerning technology, Martin Heidegger quoted the poet Hölderlin, "But where danger is, grows the saving power also." I love that fucking quote. That is absolutely beautiful quote. What? Save it? You want it? All right, we're sending it to Sarah. And this is what have been talking about of like why the white pill is so important, why we just need to empower everybody, because it's a resilience of our greater organism that is so key. He found this a numinous idea, elaborating, the closer we come to the danger, the more brightly do the ways into the saving power begin to shine and the more questioning we become. We seem to be rapidly approaching the essence of technology, which Heidegger noted was nothing technological, but had to do with our ideological end framing of the world as a standing reserve to be consumed for human ends. Interesting. As AI brings about rapid social disruptions, one danger will be that the infuriated, dispossessed multitude will retract into reactionary politics and choose demagogues, a trend that is already well underway. An alternative exists, a regenerative, reciprocal, or gift-based economy, probably involving something like a universal basic income, but it remains nascent, evanescent. Let's at least explore, and I gotta look those things up actually. Evanescent, I'm very unfamiliar with, and I want to refresh myself on nascent. Okay, coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential, like that word. Soon passing out of sight. Okay, so a universal basic income seems like it's always approaching, but it's never getting here. I guess would be a explain like a vibe version. The choo-choo train we thought was going to come soon, and it does seem to be getting closer, but it also seems like it might not come for a while. Let's explore this looming situation truthfully. Let's build new thought structures, envision models for truly benevolent, positive outcomes around it. Liminal.news. I'm just going to FaceTime this guy. Yeah. It just seems like the right thing to do. Yeah, haircut. Damn. Well, I had forgotten to text him back, who said we can have a call if you want. Like a month ago. I do this sometimes. Too much.
This is why you need to use Rewind.
I missed 2 calls this morning.
2?
Yeah. What's up, Daniel? I just read your most recent Entering the Post-Knowledge Work Era. Saw our messages previously and how I skipped out on replying there. Tend to do that sometimes. There's got to be a better way to frame that. Got to take it from a high status position. What's up, Daniel? I just finished your most recent Substack. Absolutely love it. Apologies I didn't get back to you previously, but again, the alignment that we have is absolutely insane. I'll send you a couple links and things that I'm working on in terms of systemic solutions to these problems that I think you're directly talking about. I think we're deep on the same wavelength of kind of what needs to change, of forming positive narratives for the world, and of the resiliency of the kind of whole organism that exists. Like, this quote was absolutely fire. I'm actually going to read it again. But where danger grows, the saving power also. That to me is just mint. Absolutely mint. I have a lot of hope for the world. I also have a lot of hope for any single individual who recognizes the need for themselves to come forward. I think maybe you as well as myself recognizes that the danger grows is happening, and I think, at least for me, my internal saving energy is growing as well. So it's pretty cool. Much love. And let's definitely hop on a call and chat about some of this stuff.
I was just about to say to add that, and then you remembered.
Awesome. We just plugged our works with Daniel. Daniel seems pretty well connected. I think he actually knows Tristan Harris and this Ozzo Raskin guy. Let's go ahead and continue the vibes and go down the AI dilemma. I guess I will switch this into a second video so I'm not uploading a 1 hour video. Bing, bing, boom, boom, bye.